Welcome to Tasting with Matt and Mike. Today we are going to pick our favorite bourbons and ryes from 2020. Things that we tasted in 2020. They may be some of them could possibly be a little older, but I don't think these came out any earlier than 2020. Mm-hmm. But we really like them, and we want to share with you all. So we're going to start off with my favorite rye of 2020.
All right.
And it's basically coming from the West Coast, the Rocky Mountain region. This is Fry Ranch Rye Whiskey Bottled in Bond. Mm-hmm. I really like this whiskey. They also make a great bourbon. As a matter of fact, the reason I found out about this rye was Pat Heiss from Wilderness Trail was talking with me one day, and he said that he had just come back from the West Coast, and he had brought a case of the Fry Ranch bourbon with him because he really liked it. And I thought, wow, if it's something that Pat Heiss really liked, I need to try it. So we found a bottle of the bourbon and online, and I did a review of it, and the Fry Ranch people thanked me for doing it. And I said, well, I'm glad you liked the review, but I see that you got a bottled and bond rye. I would love to do a review of that. So they sent me this bottle and bond rye. Mm-hmm. The bad thing about this is that you have to go out west to get it. It's not available in Kentucky right now.
Yeah.
But it's really good bottled and bond rye whiskey, and
I wonder if you can get it online for a fair enough price.
Well, Rosemary found the bourbon online.
Yeah.
You could probably go there and find some of it. Might cost you more than what Fry Ranch normally charges, but
worth trying out, though.
Worth trying out. Yeah, or if you have friends that live in Utah or the surrounding area,
have them send you one.
So this is the Fry Ranch rye. It's got a great nose.
Oh yeah, that ryegrass immediately.
Yeah, and kind of fruity. Mm-hmm. It's like pears and plums and apples. I mean, it's like a fruit salad in a glass. With a little bit of baking spices. And I'm not getting any really dominant baking spice, but it's just like, think of a spice cookie during Christmas time, that kind of aroma. Bunch of different spices.
Yeah.
Maybe cinnamon, maybe nutmeg, maybe allspice, maybe ginger.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's
very sweet. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that fruit definitely becomes
Delicious.
Apples and pear.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even a little hint of for me, just a hint of citrus in there.
Yeah, kind of like a lemon zest, mostly on the finish for me.
Yeah.
The apple and pears in the taste, and then it kind of goes to a lemon zest finish with some oak and those baking spices. And once again, it's not a dominant spice to me.
Mm-mm. But complex and delicious.
It's got some nice sweet vanilla and caramel notes to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, really getting a little ginger on the finish as well. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so let's see what a cranberry does for it. That really enhances the fruit to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the lemon zest disappears from the finish, and it becomes more like a tart green apple fruit on the finish.
Yeah, just all fruity.
Yeah.
A tiny hint of spice on the finish.
Yeah. Little oak.
But yeah, overall, very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and even the oak,
really
it's
good.
not that bitter, dry, tannic oak. It's more of that sweet oak,
Mm-hmm.
Think of just fresh cut wood.
Yeah.
So let's cleanse our palate and try it with a pecan.
That really brought out the citrus for me.
Yeah.
Turned it into like.
And the caramel.
Yeah.
Particularly on the finish. I'm getting a lot of caramel on the finish. Caramel and citrus.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lemony zesty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like caramel, maybe even a hint of chocolate. Definitely a little bit of oak there still, but not. I don't think the finish is as like oaky as it was with the cranberry. And
yeah.
the,
No, amazingly, it didn't bring out the wood as much as it brought out the caramel and maybe that little bit of a citrus spice.
Yeah, so this
is and really, to me, it affected the finish more than it affected the taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good stuff. And where's that from?
Fry Ranch is in Utah.
Utah.
Or excuse me, Nevada. Nevada. And let's see, where's the recipe here? Fallon, F-A-L-L-O-N, Nevada.
Okay. So they're making good stuff out in the West.
So that's my favorite rye. What's your favorite rye?
All right, so for mine, it's the Michter's 10-year-old. Of course, I think they release one of these pretty much every year.
But that's the 2020 expression.
Yeah, 2020 expression. I mean, pretty much every year. The Michter's straight rye, definitely top 3 every year. You know.
Yeah.
And this year, or last year, 2020, it definitely. I think won for me. So let's pour some up. So how long have they been releasing the 10-year-old for, Mike?
It's been a while. To be honest with you, I don't know when they first released it, but they're doing it on a regular basis now. I know when the first 10-year-old first came out, it was like 2 or 3 years before they came out with another 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're trying to release one every year. And I'm trying to remember, is this a single barrel? Yeah, it's a single barrel product. So the age statement says 10-year-old, but that's one thing about Michter's. They don't go strictly by number of years. They go by age profile. And if it doesn't taste like they want for their 10-year-old at 10 years old, they may hold on to that barrel till it's 11 or 12.
Okay.
And then once it reaches that flavor profile they're looking for, then they'll
release it as a 10-year-old.
Release it as a 10-year-old.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great color.
Great color. What was the proof on this? It's not bottled and bond, so we don't know for sure. It's going to be 92.8.
All right.
So, great nose.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got that old leather oak.
Mm-hmm.
A little ryegrass, but it's
Hint of vanilla.
Hint of vanilla, yeah.
Getting a floral note in there.
Yeah. Maybe like orange blossom.
Yeah.
Because I'm also getting like a little hint of citrus too.
Yeah, an orangey citrus. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's
just smooth.
Yeah.
It's really good. Blended very well.
Well, it's not blended. It's a single barrel.
Well, yeah. Well, the flavor.
The flavor
is
it's
blended.
complex.
It's complex and like everything. Like
balanced.
It's very balanced. Yeah, I guess would be more than blended. Like you're getting that rye, but you're also getting a lot of like what you get out of like classic bourbon. You know, like I'm getting a chocolatey caramel. Yeah, like I said, that hint of rye.
A little bit of that fruit.
A little bit of that fruit.
Kind of a citrusy, maybe cherry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just beautiful. The finish is. Finish to me is like chocolate. It's like chocolate oak. I mean, yeah, pretty much that's it for me. Like, you know, like just delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's try it with a cranberry. See if it gets any better, if possible.
Yeah.
I won't say better, but definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
More creamy.
Yeah. I know we've...
More viscous. I mean, it's still kind of coating my mouth.
Yeah. And we've done our share of whiskey sours with the 10-year-old. And we know this goes well with, you know, like a fruit-based like sweet drink, you know, so...
Goes very good in a Manhattan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that finish! You know, I'm still getting. I don't get as much of the leather that I got out of the straight.
Yeah.
The wood it's still got some oak to it. It's still not into that bitter oak. I mean, you're getting a little bit of those bitter tannins, but just the right amount, just enough to kind of please the palate without overwhelming it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can still feel it back there. Nice, creamy, rich. Yeah. All right. Well,
let's cleanse our palate and see what a pecan does. Now that's where the chocolate comes out.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the taste and on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a sip of this while I was eating a pecan pie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, where you got that kind of, you know, actually my grandmother used to make pecan pies using sorghum.
Oh really?
And a little sorghum, a little pecan, you know, with the sugars and such.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet you this would just go really well with that.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, overall this rye, I mean every year, like I said, it's right up there. You know, that George Washington rye is also good.
Right.
I know that one's had couple really good years. Also, you know,
there's been a lot of interesting ryes that have come out. You know, the Buzzard's Roost that Jason Bronner from Bourbon's Bistro. You know, it's a decent rye and everything. It didn't make either one of ours top listed, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are some others. You know, the Liberty Pole.
Liberty Pole, yeah.
You know, Dad's Hat Bonded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought all those were really good things that we tasted last year.
Yeah. I can't remember if we tasted the 3-quart, which I liked as well.
That was last year, too, I believe.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Or was it just before the
pandemic?
pandemic?
It could have been 2019, though.
Yeah, that could have been 2019, just before the pandemic.
Still good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as last year goes, I think it was 2019, so
Yeah.
I don't think it qualifies for last year. But yeah, overall, like, good year for Ryes.
Good year for Ryes.
Yeah. So,
So that was your favorite rye. What was your favorite bourbon?
all right. So for my favorite bourbon, you've already mentioned the master distiller of this place, Wilderness Trail. Pat Heist released a 6-year-old bourbon. It's bottled in bond,
Weeded.
sweet mash.
And I do believe that's so far is our favorite when in the Stitzel-Weller Challenge.
It is, yeah.
You know, it's the closest that you get to an old Stitzel-Weller distilled weeded bourbon.
Mm-hmm. And I think these guys are really solid. I mean, everything they've made, I've really enjoyed. So when this came out last year,
yeah,
middle of summer, you know.
No, it's middle of late spring, wasn't it?
Was it late spring?
I'm thinking it was late spring because I remember Rosemary and I went and picked up the bottles at the distillery. We picked up one for you as well.
Yeah. And this was during like the height of COVID, so like this was a shining gem in the middle of.
Maybe it was early summer, but
yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's get a.
But it's definitely 2020 because
Yeah.
I was wearing a mask when I picked up this. So, Pat, do us a favor next time you do a bottle and bond. Put the year and season that it was bottled in, as well as the year and season that it was made in, so that we can know when we picked it up.
Yeah. This one says barreled in 2014. So
yeah.
That's what we know. All right. Let's give this one a sniff.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good. It's got that traditional, like I said, Stitzel-Weller type aroma.
Mm-hmm.
You know, apple, caramel, a little bit of hazelnut, maybe.
Oh yeah. That hazelnut really shines through for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, hints of vanilla.
Yeah. Just a really great nose.
Mm-hmm. Really interesting.
Yeah. So let's taste it.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Caramel bordering on milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of my thing. I guess like like I love that flavor profile.
But I know you too. Your favorite part of a bourbon is a good spicy bourbon.
That's right. Yes.
But get that caramel virgin on milk chocolate with a little bit of that ripe apple. Particularly the ripe apple kind of lingers into the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got that hazelnut and that oak. And just a hint of spices of some type, baking spices, but they're kind of a sweet spice. Allspice maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I couldn't pinpoint what spice that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just beautiful, well balanced. Yeah.
So let's try this with the cranberry. Oh, that really brought out the chocolate to me.
Brought out the chocolate, yeah. I'm even getting like a...
And I'm getting more spice on the end.
Definitely.
And I would say, what, cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon. I'm getting like
maybe ginger?
Maybe a little ginger there, yeah.
It's what I call the tingly spices. You know, not really hot like pepper, but it's tingly.
It's warming you up back there a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried this one in like a whiskey sour or Manhattan or anything. I've only had it neat, so.
Yeah, why would you want it anywhere but neat?
Yeah, really, yeah. I can see how it would be good,
It'd make a great whiskey sour Manhattan,
but I almost like it better. Like I like this one better neat than I do with the cranberry for sure.
Yeah.
I think it gives it keeps it the complexity more so.
So let's try it with pecan. Once again, the chocolate. Only this time instead of milk chocolate, to me it's dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. It really makes it, really richens it up.
And that hazelnut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost like a toasted hazelnut.
Yeah.
Think
Nutella.
Oh yeah, I love Nutella. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've had it.
But yeah, I mean, that kind of chocolate hazelnut butter,
Yeah. Oh man, I'd like to spread some Nutella on some toast and have
this with it.
Pour this with it. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the 6-year-old Wilderness Trail. Definitely my favorite of last year as far as bourbons go. Mike, show us what you got for your 2020 bourbon favorite.
Okay. Grab your bottle, Elf. My favorite is the Whiskey Row Bottled and Bond, a 4-grain bourbon, bottled and bond, 100 proof, Kentucky Artisan Distillers. Great whiskey. When I first opened this bottle, they sent me a bottle, and I opened it and tasted it and let Rosemary taste it, and the only thing either one of us could say was, wow.
Yeah.
Really tasty whiskey. I like a lot of things that they do. Other things that I would mention that from them that I really like, I don't think it was 2020, it might be 2019 that the bottles that I have, is their Billy Goat Strut Rye.
Yeah, the Billy Goat Strut Rye. I remember that one. Yeah.
You know, and you know, of course, they're famous for making some of the Jefferson's product, not all of it, but some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Great distillery, and Jade Peterson is a great distiller, and I think this is his masterpiece, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh man, it's beautiful. Now, when did they release this one? Do you know?
What was it, like October, November?
Yeah, it was later in the year.
It was later in the year, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great nose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm getting like apricots, little chocolate, caramel. Yeah, I'm not sure what the 4 grains that they're using.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously corn because it's bourbon, and malted barley.
Mm-hmm.
But is it rye? Is it oats? Is it wheat? You know,
It's tough to tell. I could almost get a little rye in there, maybe.
I think it might be rye and oats. Because a lot of the whiskeys that I've had, you know, Alan Bishop up at Spirit French Lick, you know, makes some whiskey using oats.
Mm-hmm.
And that oats always gives me that, you know, maybe it's raisins. There's a fruity note that oats kind of brings out.
Yeah.
Raisins,
It's like a
prunes.
some kind of dark fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's in there. Really ripe apricot. A little bit of spice, baking spices. But once again, hard to tell what that spice is just by the nose.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not pepper.
Hmm. Could be cardamom.
Could be cardamom.
All
Well, let's taste it. The only way to find out. Oh, lots of rich caramel.
Mm-hmm. That's delicious.
That apricot, raisin, you know, dried fruit.
You get that dried dark fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting like some vanilla.
Yeah.
Um,
A little chocolate on the finish.
a little chocolate on the finish. Hint of spice. I think maybe like a white peppery.
White pepper, I can see white pepper, mild white pepper.
Yeah.
Maybe cardamom is a good.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Well, let's see what a dried cranberry does. Not as spicy
That's spicy. It really brought out the.
until the finish. Now all of a sudden it wasn't spicy on the taste at all, but now that it's going into the finish, man, that white pepper
Mm-hmm.
is just bursting
It's like
forward.
right there. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's on the sides of my tongue.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I'm getting like a pretty, like the dark fruity. I think raisiny for me, like
Yeah,
raisiny
raisin.
or prunish.
Or currants.
Yeah, currants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you said, like bam, there's that pop of that white pepper right there.
Yeah, and I'm getting a little bit of like a star anise too. Kind of that little bit of just a hint of that black licorice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, with the cranberry. Didn't get it in the initial taste per se, but with the cranberry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this one has like that rich, dark fruity, and like with the anise, you know,
Very
like,
complex.
Yeah, very complex. You can get a lot. Yeah, you're pulling a lot of flavors out of this one. Yeah, but they all blend together well. Blend. That's said blend again.
Yeah. They all marry
They
well
all marry
together.
well together.
Yeah, very well balanced. Too.
Yeah.
Let's cleanse our palate. Try it for pecan. So with the pecan.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That makes it swing less from the fruit, more into the caramel vanilla,
Oaky finish.
oaky finish.
Not as much spice.
Maybe a little bit of a nutty. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very smooth. Like the finish is still there, but it's just warm. It's not overpowering.
Yeah.
But very well.
Oh, and I just got a
very well
taste on the
balanced.
finish that's familiar. I'm trying to remember what that was.
I mean, I get a lot of that dark fruit in there still.
Yeah.
With that taste. It almost turns into like a plum.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is. A plum comes out on the finish. Just all
Yeah.
of a sudden, it just kind of hits you.
Yeah.
Plum or prune?
Yeah. Oh man, good stuff. Really
Yeah.
good stuff. 2020 was a good year.
2020 was a good year for whiskeys.
As far as whiskey goes.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff came out.
Yeah.
So those are our favorites, bourbons and ryes for 2020.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Try them out. Cheers.